Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox. Today we need to talk about Ferrari. We are going to do a breakdown, but something's going on with that team, and that's probably going to be the main part of our story today. But we'll highlight the race first, just to get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about the bigger elephant in the room here, or bigger prancing horse, I guess. So, thoughts on the race?
So I thought a lot of it was a little boring, actually. I like this track. I think it's fun. Usually, I feel like there's a little bit more action. It's already
Well,
a hard.
Verstappen going from 10th to 1st was exciting.
That was.
He even
that
did a
was.
full 360.
I. So he made it fun. He still finished like 8 seconds ahead of the pack.
Yeah.
So I like that it was difficult to pass. Even with the new cars, it still provided a little bit of excitement there. But I don't know. I kind of thought it was a boring race, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that gets to our next point coming up with Ferrari. But even Mercedes, with all their complaining about the rules not benefiting them, and it's for safety, you kind of have to question it because other teams aren't having safety issues. And then now they're finishing second and third. They're right behind Ferrari in the points.
So are they still going to go through with?
Well, they already are. They already said they are because they said Russell. Russell said Ferrari and Red Bull are not cheating, but they stretched the rules. So when the FIA steps in and fixes the rules, it'll bring Ferrari and Red Bull back to them.
Okay.
I have nothing against Russell. I have nothing against Mercedes. They were fun to watch, but you've won 8 in a row, and this just feels like you're a sore loser. Thoughts?
I definitely get that feeling. I feel like a lot of what George Russell says is sometimes to like push up Mercedes. I don't feel like he's ever given us like his 100% like opinion. I feel like it's always like an underhanded like I have Mercedes' best interests at heart. I
Yeah.
don't. So yeah. I don't know. You won 8 in a row. I don't know.
Yeah. And now again, if
Yeah.
you win 8 in a row, you're obviously that good. But when you're now not doing that good, and every F1 team is drama, right? Red Bull did it last year. Ferrari just done it throughout their years. But like the fact that the FIA is changing it mid-season and they're putting it under safety is what's I think irking me a little bit because you could just raise your car height and then you're not porpoising
Because I feel like
anymore.
there's other teams that aren't having this problem, but
Correct. But that's the team. Ferrari and Red Bull are the two.
yeah,
That
but
really
even,
aren't.
even Haas is like, oh no, we're fine, and Alpine is like, just raise your ride height,
Yeah.
you'll be okay. Sorry, you're maybe a little slower, you'll figure it out, but
And they have, obviously. I mean, they were only 10 seconds off the pace.
yeah. So I definitely feel like that rule change would benefit the one team that's
Mid-season.
not, yeah, but. Maybe I'm just biased, and I mean, I am biased, like my opinion is definitely showing here. So,
Yeah. That's okay.
but that's how I feel.
Yeah. All right. So that was our quick breakdown. Again, the race went pretty well. Max went from 10th to 1st.
We almost had a 20 racer finish.
Oh, yeah. Bottas in like 2 laps left.
I
And
was-
with a virtual safety car. That's
Yeah.
true. That would make sense, especially on this track.
Yeah, I was like, I had 15 people finishing, and then especially with the rain, I was like, who knows? Because
Yeah.
last year we had Bottas bowling, and then,
They took out everybody.
yeah, so just Bottas this year.
Yeah, just Bottas. Maybe it's karma for last year, taking everybody else out.
Yeah, that was a fun way to start the race.
Right? Okay, so that's the race review. I know it's a little bit shorter this week, but and we didn't get to do France, but that was kind of rolls into what we're about to talk about with Leclerc crashing out in France and then Max winning. Max has won 10 of the 13 races, which is just nuts. Maybe 9 of the 13.
Yeah.
Because Perez,
Looks like
Leclerc's won 3, and then Sainz has won 1. But yeah, so Russell went from pole, finished 3rd, let Lewis Hamilton by. So Hamilton finished 2nd, and then Verstappen won again. So Red Bull is now 100 points, I think, ahead of Ferrari, and Max is 80 points ahead of Leclerc in 2nd. So let's talk about the prancing horse in the room here. Ferrari's strategy has been jokingly called into question for this whole season, right? Someone did the math before this race, and Ferrari's strategy and engine problems have cost Leclerc alone 76 points. Obviously, they're doing the same stuff to Sainz, but we're focused on Leclerc, 'cause I think for ease of conversation.
Yeah.
76 points. And then how did today's race go for the strategists?
I don't even know. Like, I mean, obviously bad, but I don't even have words because I just feel like it was kind of handed to you on a platter. Everyone else was making the mistake of choosing the hard tire, and it wasn't going well. Like, every other team was sending their drivers out on hard tires, and then it wasn't performing, so they kept having to pit people. And then Ferrari, the last second, put Leclerc on hards when he didn't need to be.
He was 6 seconds in first again, and they pulled him in for hards and ended up sixth.
So I don't even know what to call that.
It's almost
like
it's just comical at this point.
Yeah, because it's like, is that sabotage? Like, it's not, because that's your own team. Like, why would you do that?
Unless Christian Horner's paying Ferrari strategists.
Yeah.
Heard it here first.
Breaking news.
Right.
But it's comical.
So this is how I look at it. Ferrari should have, right? Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari should have the best strategists in the world because you have the money to pay them. How long have you been watching F1?
Few years,
right?
Yes.
So not as long as hopefully the strategist sitting at Ferrari.
I hope longer.
Right? Hopefully they have a little bit longer than her and longer than me as well. Did you understand why they brought Sainz and Leclerc in with mediums on at the same time as Russell's softs?
No.
Did you understand why they brought Leclerc in for hards when he was 6 seconds in the lead and everyone was struggling on hards?
No.
So if two novices who don't get paid to do anything with F1 and this is just a hobby understand that, how do Ferrari strategists not? Why do you double pit Leclerc back-to-back in Monaco?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but...
I'm wondering if they almost like Leclerc did something and they're just trying to penalize him.
But that would be so ridiculous.
It would be. I'd be
that's conspiracy crazy, like tinfoil hat talking.
I know. My tinfoil hat's back there.
Yeah, they must have... Maybe they were thinking rain, the hards would last long. I don't know.
But everyone... Is it ego? Is there like, oh, everyone else is struggling, but we're Ferrari?
I mean, that could be it, but... This many races?
Yeah.
This many problems.
So it's
strategy?
it's another race win they took from Leclerc. Whether it was engine issues, which happens, right?
Yeah. And like last week was
Leclerc.
His own fault.
But that's where my question leads, and that's why I said we were going to focus more on Leclerc than Sainz. But I guess we could even include Sainz on this. Are Leclerc and Sainz making these minor mistakes because they're overdriving the car, knowing that they can't count on the strategist?
Like, is it you're not driving a car with complete trust
correct
in the entire package
correct.
At this point?
So Leclerc and Sainz know they need to drive above and beyond to make up for the crappy pit stop they're going to get later.
I mean, probably.
Interesting.
You're creating, like, I think a community of malcontent. You know, because obviously we all saw Binotto walk away for the second time.
Apparently he was just going to the bathroom.
Before the end of the race. I don't know.
I don't go to the bathroom that much during the race.
I guess.
Must not be hydrated enough.
Oh, no, definitely not. So I just feel like there's a lot of issues within the Ferrari garage. It's really sad to see because I felt like this was a year that they were going to
at least possibly
compete. But now it's like... I don't know.
I think that's the worst part, at least from my aspect, is like this would have been. You see Leclerc and Verstappen on battles on the track, and even Leclerc with Russell today. That was so exciting, and Ferrari's taking that from us because they're not competent enough just to put the driver in the position.
Yeah. I'm hoping that there's a bigger picture. There was a thought process. I'm sure there was, and we're all just missing it. But I don't know.
Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, this many misses is like a pattern at this point, and I don't know. If I had this many problems at my job, I would be fired.
Well, you're a nurse, so
yeah. Yeah, don't want to do that. But they're just missing the mark. And today really upset me because it was like other people are making the mistakes for you.
Yeah, they did the homework for you. Just cheat off them.
Yeah. Like, food on platter, here you go.
Verstappen's in 10th.
Don't do that. Yeah, Verstappen's in 10th. Yeah. You know
you have a 6-second lead.
You have a better car than Mercedes right now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just go. I don't know. Yeah.
So I look at it this way, and I think I've told you this before, but I look at it as Ferrari in sports, you see teams that are like winning and they're not comfortable winning, and they make decisions not to lose and then decisions to win. And I feel like Ferrari is making decisions not to lose, and that always ends poorly in every sport. Whereas Red Bull was like, F it, let's try this. We're going for the win. And then if it doesn't work, they're like, well, Max drove his heart out. But they usually end up with a win. Whereas Ferrari's like, well, Leclerc's 6 seconds ahead, they don't know how to win anymore.
And that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is.
But
because they're taking a champion. Like, this would be so exciting right now. Because this is up to 100 points they've cost Leclerc.
Yep.
Now, granted, Leclerc's cost himself 32.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's not faultless.
Absolutely. But I think today was just a glaring spotlight on what the hell is going on in the team. So, because like everyone makes mistakes. Like last year, look at Hamilton brake magic, and everyone's like, what?
That cost him the championship.
But things happen. Yeah. But like this consistently is honestly but however, if this was like, I don't know, Williams, would we all be looking at it the same way? If this was Alpine,
I think we would, and then we would say that's why they're not a mid-level team.
Yeah,
because they're making those mistakes. But Ferrari is the tip of the spear, right? So they should be held to that higher standard.
Yes,
right.
But to your point, I think you said a few episodes earlier, like they haven't won in what, 15?
Something like that.
15 years?
07 was the last driver's title.
Maybe they just don't know how to anymore.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't.
So they made the same mistake. They made the same mistakes in 2018 with Vettel. They put him out in intermeters on a dry track.
Yes.
So this is now, that's a pattern. So maybe they don't know how to win, but 2023 they should still have the best car. And Red Bull's even said it. Ferrari has the best car, unless Mercedes makes some deal, right? Like Ferrari should still have a competitive car. Summer break? This season's over. I know anything can happen in sports, but I mean, let's be honest here. They're not changing their whole thing in 3 weeks. So this season's gone. What do you do between the summer break, the rest of the season, and 2023 if you're not even Bernardo at this point? Like above him.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't want to say fire anyone, but have a good, nice, long talk with some people.
You should be beyond that at this point, right? Shouldn't you have done that in Monaco when you cost Leclerc the home win?
Yeah.
Or Silverstone when you almost cost Leclerc the win?
Firing everyone in the middle of the season.
I said for next year. For 2023.
I don't know.
I walk into Red Bull. And I say, I am Ferrari. I will pay you more than my drivers. And I talk to the strategist, the Red Bull strategist, and I'll pick a number and I will pay you that to leave Red Bull and come to.
That's what you would do?
That's what I would do.
All right.
Ferrari's got an infinite budget.
Yeah.
And winning for them would mean way more than it means for Red Bull. Or even Mercedes. Walk into Mercedes' garage and be like, I will pay you anything.
Yeah.
Okay. You need one strategist, and he could train everybody else.
I honestly don't know. I mean, that sounds like a great idea, but I don't think they're going to do that.
No, they're not. They're going to keep the same people and then end up in the same position next year.
I honestly don't know what they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Ferrari, if you're watching this amateur YouTube video on F1, call me. I'll help you out. Hire me for a strategist. I can't be worse.
That'd be cool.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like you said, you can't really do much worse.
Can't do much worse. Just listen to Leclerc, who's like, don't put me on hards. And they pit him for hards.
Yeah. I mean,
or
do you just get rid of your strategist and go, what? Hey, drivers, do your thing.
Because Sainz is really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. I could go on talk about this for an hour.
This is turning ranty.
This is turning into a therapy session, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah. So overall, terrible race for Ferrari. Really highlighted some issues that they're having.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Great race on Mercedes.
And
Verstappen, driver of the day, was amazing. I don't know if he won. I voted for him, so I think he needed to win. Probably
not biased.
But he killed it. Even with the spin, you go.
That's just showing off at that point.
I know.
You do a full 360, lose control of the car, and still win by 10 seconds?
Yeah. Good for you, man. He's so cool. It was an okay race. Yeah. It was an okay race, but sad it's summer break.
I know.
What are we going to do
We'll have like real lives again.
No, not okay.
Okay.
So we will do, I think, another video.
Recapping the first half of the season throughout sometime in the summer break. But other than that, thank you for coming to our Ferrari intervention. Hopefully they're listening to all of the YouTubers, because I guarantee we're not the only ones.
Oh no!
Every article is talking about it.
I know it's going to be a fun time on YouTube tonight, looking at everything.
I know. So
some pissed off people or happy, depending on who you root for.
Yeah, but I imagine most Red Bull fans don't want this.
No,
because it's fun to watch it fight.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. When I don't like a team, I'm like, ha 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 ha.
That's fair. You are kind of like that.
I am.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you later.